Following screencast goes over mark entries and comments for a kindergarten class. Specifically, in this case, it's a half-time kindergarten class, but same as a full-time. I've logged into Teacher Assistant and BCeSIS. A couple notes. Please make sure that if you leave your station that you lock or log off. And at any point in time when you see a save icon, please save any changes you make, and do that frequently just to avoid any problems with if we had a power failure or loss of internet connectivity, so you don't lose any work. So what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to click on the Mark Entry button, and it's going to ask if I want to do this by student or by class. I want to do this by class. I'm going to select my class, and it's already selected, so I'll click the button Select. And this takes me to the Mark Entry screen. And it's very important you work from left to right and top to bottom when you're working in this screen. So the first one we need to work with is the reporting term. Now please check with your site admin or your clerical staff as to which reporting term you're working in. If you put your marks and comments in the wrong reporting term, they will not show up on this report card. And the very unfortunate thing is you'll need to transfer them. And it's not an easy process to transfer marks and comments from one reporting term into another. So make sure you get this one right. Double check with your site admin or your clerical staff. For this example, I'm just going to use the first reporting period. Next thing over to the right is I'm going to pick my grade, and since this is just a straight kindergarten class, that's the only one that shows up here. After I've picked that, then I can see my subject skills, my organizers, and learning outcomes. If I were to click on English Language Arts for this example, it brings up my students that belong in kindergarten halftime, but I can't enter a mark here. You can see it's grayed out until you actually pick one of the learning outcomes that has an asterisk. From here you can enter marks and comments. So I can enter a reading, writing, speaking, listening, mark, and comment. For kindergarten, I can only enter 1 through 3, where 1 is exceeding expectations, 2 is meeting expectations, and 3 is approaching expectations. In grades 1 through 3, you have the fourth option of not meeting expectations. This is not available in kindergarten as per the ministerial order on reporting. So, under the marks column, I can enter the numbers 1, 2, or 3. If I try to enter anything else, it's going to pop up and warn me that's an invalid mark. And this is helpful that if I were to accidentally type in 33, it's still going to say, wait a second, you're not allowed to do that. And it highlights what you've done so you can change it. So I'm going to go through and enter all my marks for my students. And you can use the mouse or you can use the down and up arrow key to move through. So at any point in time while you're doing this, you can hit the save button. Now when I've done my marks in this fashion, after I've finished, I'm going to hit save to make sure I've saved my work. And from here on we can do the comments. I'm going to go back up to the top and pick my first student. So for Brittany, I'm going to edit this comment, and when I've done that, I'm going to make sure that I save before I move on to the next comment. So I'm going to click on Edit. And this brings you to your comment screen. From this point, we have 3 tabs across the top, and this is where we can collect some pre-generated comments. The From Curriculum will be filled in at a later date, and right now it's blank, so you can skip that. My comments are ones that I have created, and I've made a video in this series about how to do this. And the school comments will be filled in by your school clerical. So I'm just going to focus on the My comments, but the process is exactly the same from all of these. So if I wanted to add in one of these comments that I have previously created, I can click on it and hit the copy button. and it gets added down into the collected descriptions. So I can repeat that process several times. And now in the collected descriptions, I could also copy and paste from words or another text editor. Now it's really important that you spell and grammar check this one yourself, because the button, even though it's present frequently in BCeSIS that says spell check, it doesn't actually work. It just highlights everything. So you need to make sure that you spell check this yourself. You could write the entire comment in Microsoft Word, do a spell and grammar check and read it as well, and you can copy and paste into the collected descriptions, and that would be fine. So that would be a fairly quick way to do it. I think quicker than using the tabs across the top. Now, one really important thing is when you're done this comment for this student, you must click the transfer button. Okay, don't click the door, because if you click the door, it's going to leave without saving this. But transfer, which I'll click right now, actually takes that text and transfers it into the comment. And if I click on edit, I can go back and change this comment if I so choose. So transfer is really, really important. I'll do one more here for Alexandria. Really short here just for demonstration purposes. And make sure again that you hit transfer when you're done the comment. Continue this process for all of your students and for your different organizers. Now, I was trying to go over to writing or speaking, and it beeped at me, and if I looked at the bottom left, it would tell me, please save my work first. So I forgot to do that, and I should be doing that more frequently. So when you enter a comment, then transfer it, and then save. So I'm going to transfer this, I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to keep going, working with my students. Once you're finished this, you can save again, and you can move on to your next learning outcome. And here again, you can put in your marks and comments. One note, one of the organizers here, we've actually got two. It's daily physical activity and social responsibility. Social responsibility and daily physical activity get a comment but no mark. So for both of those, you can put in a comment, but you do not need to put in a mark for those. And again, when you're done this, just like you have for your attendance complete, when you're finished all of your marks, check off the mark entry complete for class, hit save, and close the door. So that screencast showed you how to do mark entry and comments for a kindergarten class.